You stupid Jew.
Where are we going right now? Oh,
Uh,
the camera just started.
And 3,
Two,
2, 1, I
action.
know. You see, somehow the world's gonna change for me. And it's so wonderful. Okay. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to your podcast. As you guys can see,
Okay, Mike Tyson, chill out.
it's bad. I was talking like this the whole day, yesterday and today.
And literally in the past hour when I was beating him in UFC, would we showed him what Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson would be like?
Yeah, are you Jake Paul in this situation?
Yeah, you going to
Oh,
sleep.
then you would
Jake Paul
shy.
going stupid.
Okay. Anyways, as you guys can see from the freaking title, Patience Part
PT period 2.
Dos. Numero dos. Um, as you can see, Sandra's not here,
Sadly,
but me and Brady
makes
are.
me want to cry.
So, hope you guys are doing okay. Me and Brady have been with each other like about an hour before this started, so
Oh yeah, we were getting vibes.
we
Had to get the vibes flowing.
he got
I
beaten
wasn't in a
UFC
great
is
headspace, you know.
he was getting beat up in UFC to
I
get him back
was.
into the mindset.
I was. But you know what? I won twice. That's what Trey doesn't want to tell you. I won twice.
There's no proof.
There is
Guilty,
proof.
guilty till
I took a
proven
video.
innocent.
It said winner for
Oh
the guy
crap!
that I played.
I forgot. I delete the footage right now, or I'll kill everyone.
What?
I'll kill them all.
Is that what God's telling you to do?
No, but it's my own
Then you
instinct.
can't do it.
My own instincts. So before we get too off topic again, like our last one, the only reason, yeah, we
We're
are
already
doing.
off topic.
I know. The only reason we are doing a part two was just because last time we started to talk about patience, and then I don't really remember. It was something.
Honestly, we ended up calling his uncle and we went to an entirely different thing.
Yeah. Because I
But
remember
I thought it was still good.
it was no, I definitely enjoyed it. It was because it was about if God. Me and Sandra were debating whether God leaves us, like he can be not present anymore, and so
Yeah,
then we know.
no, not present anymore. But if if you were sitting in this room, would he leave the room?
Oh yeah,
That's what it was.
I do recall now.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so that kind of took up the rest of the pod. But like Brady said, it was still good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I
Uh,
thought it was beneficial.
I enjoyed it. But so yeah, we're here to run it back, and talk to you guys. Actually, this time more focused on why it is harder, why it is hard to have patience as a Christian, or just as a person in today's society. Um,
Yep.
well, as you know, Brady, I mean, and I hope you guys know, with today's culture, I think we've talked about it briefly on uh, one of the other podcasts, one of the first few ones. There we go. How we kind of in today's society, like even in the last since the phone, like especially like smartphones have been adapted into just being very common, we expect everything we do, we kind of get instant results, whether it's texting people and getting a response from them, or
But
like
you know what we don't get instant results for?
what?
The two things that this channel is based upon: the gym
Oh,
and your faith.
that is
Uh,
true. That is true. But
you don't
yeah,
get instant results in the gym, ladies and gentlemen. You
I
have to put in the work.
groundbreaking.
Who would have thunk it?
I know. Well, actually, since you brought that
Unless
up,
you do steroids, then you might get a little bit more
it's yeah,
instant.
oh yeah, yeah.
But that's called cheating.
Man, since you brought up the gym and how it takes a while, I want to pull up. I wasn't. This was gonna be one of the later verses I wanted to bring up, but if I'm not
Why
mistaken,
not now though?
well, yeah. Well, since you brought it up, now it's perfect and it'll fit smooth like butter. Uh, uh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So James, chapter 5-7 through 8, a little bit through 9 as well.
Speak facts right now.
Oh, look at this.
Speaking facts.
Let the Holy Spirit cook real quick.
I'll let the Holy Spirit cook. You so right.
He goes, be patient, then, brothers and sisters, until the Lord's coming. See how the farmer waits for the land to yield its valuable crops, patiently waiting for the autumn and spring rains. You too be patient and stand firm, because the Lord's coming is near. Don't grumble against one another, brothers and sisters, or you will be judged. The judge is standing at the door. And I think how you said, like the gym and faith, it doesn't happen. It's not something that just is instantaneous like everything else in this world. Just like I guess we could throw in farmers too. They work hard constantly,
Yep.
but they don't get to reap the benefits instantly. They have to wait.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty cool.
mean,
Pretty freaking
I know I
cool.
talked about this a little bit, and I want to ask you this too here soon. But like I was talking about some of the stuff that I've had to be patient for.
Hmm.
Like the racing team has
Hmm.
been a major one because it's been testing my patience on like getting up
Hmm.
early because I've been getting up at like 6 in the morning most days. So that's like also instilled discipline in me
Yeah, I was
to
gonna.
help for when I like fully commit to the gym. Because I would say if I looked at the gym as like my faith, I would say I'm very lukewarm.
Ooh, I'm well, honestly very. I'm happy that you were humble enough to admit that, but also um cognitive. That might not be the right word. You were
No, I think
self-aware enough to realize that. That's the
yeah,
right word.
no, I mean if the gym was my faith, I would be very lukewarm.
So, but it's a good thing it's not your faith.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing.
That's really good.
Hmm.
You got to get one set straight to be able to move on to the other fully.
That is true. I think. Oh yeah. There. I don't know who quoted it. I'm gonna say I quoted it, but
He's lying.
where like there's one man who practices 1,000 different kicks one time, and then there's one guy who practices one kick 1,000 times. And which is who's more deadly? The person who practiced that one kick 1,000 times.
Yeah, I found that out in UFC real quick.
Oh my gosh, this guy. Don't believe him, ladies and
No, I'm
gents.
talking about you and your knees, bro.
Oh, I was
You're
gonna say, if he says he's
trashing
beating
me.
me, that's not
Now
true.
my one kick got you one time. Your knee bodied me repeatedly.
Basically, I'm a professional MMA fighter.
Basically, he knows how to beat my body up in UFC,
I was gonna say, what do
and
you?
I know how to take out his head one
I was
time.
gonna say, what do you mean by that? But then you finished it. You finished your
Let
sentence.
me cook. Let me finish. It's not a meal until everything's on the plate. Okay.
Ooh, actually, that was kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Off podcast, I'll tell you that was tough. In podcast, I'll tell you that was tough. That was pretty
I
tough.
did a thing.
um. Ooh. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you both the pod and you. So I know you've already kind of known about it, but I want your opinion and theirs on if this is more something where this is more about patience or if it's more about a different option that I just can't think of. So with me, how I was working at the sprint turf place, the turfing job,
Yeah.
and how I was obviously making good money, I'd say,
Mhm.
compared to any other job I've ever had. I wasn't
Mhm.
like, obviously, I'm not like making six figures, but in comparison to any 18-year-old job I've ever had, and I was like constantly on the road, and I'd really felt, even when I was working there, that I was called to do some form of ministry and personal training. And with New Year's, we had came back for Christmas slash New Year's for the
Yeah.
holidays, and something was just really telling me this was the time to really see how much like. Something was just telling me I need to quit without a backup plan, without like a plan B.
Testing
With
you.
yeah, I had no job lined up. I just knew. I mean, I had money to pay for that month's rent, but that was about it. So I didn't, like I said, I hadn't even started personal training courses. So like I wasn't close to getting
Well,
my
because the biggest thing
certification.
was you had rent and you had to pay for these courses,
Well,
so
yeah,
you were really just putting all faith in.
yeah, and I mean, obviously I have a job now as a personal trainer, but
Oh yeah, how were courses by the way?
oh, the courses were easy.
That's what I thought.
I schemed through them,
So
cheated through them. Well, to be
Quizlet.
fair, yeah, actually, yeah, you definitely can just. But the thing is, the questions they ask on the courses are just they're either really simple knowledge you would just know if you work out enough, or
Mhm.
they're just questions that you have no reason to know about them because you're not going to implement them into your
Well, the
training.
other thing is like you can pass that test, but it's really in the work that you do and
Mhm.
as we would say like how you keep your temple.
Yeah.
So if somebody's gonna hire you based on if you just did that, say I took the test
Mhm.
and I go in there and say, yeah, I want a personal train, they're easily gonna give you the job over me any day of the week,
Just because of.
just because of physical
Mhm.
look. So it plays
It
into
does.
both parts, but
Do you think so? Mm. Oh yeah. Okay. So basically, I didn't have a. So yeah, the point of me telling you that and then them as well was because I didn't have a. After I finished my course, I still didn't have a job.
yeah,
Um, and that's when I was somehow. I mean, I know how it was God, but somehow He just kept finding ways to provide for me. Like I'd already ran out of that money I had saved for rent, and because I didn't have a job, I didn't start looking for a job for over a month, and I
yeah,
didn't get one until
you're
the
just
end of
kind of hanging out.
February. Yeah, I was just chilling at my house doing nothing but working out. And so yeah, trying to cuz like I applied for a lot of jobs that were personal trainers,
Yep.
but none of them were like either answering back or they
They said they were gonna take a different option.
yeah, or and even some they'd say like you can come, and it's actually really funny because I had two interviews lined up that they were because all these jobs I was applying for were near Carmel, and so they were paying pretty well, like 30 an hour, and uh, so I remember trying to go to one of my interviews, and that's when my car, not the one I'm driving right now, but that's when my car finally just giving starts to give me issues where it would overheat and then turn off. And it was on the way when I was like 30 minutes down the road, like in the on the highway. And so I think that was like a big like
Big sign.
get God's hand just like, nah, you're not going there. And I still didn't, I hadn't even thought about applying for the Y.
So then my question is, did you just turn around
I did. Well, because my car it went from like below half, and then it went
where it
to
should normally sit?
no, it went to the red, like
No,
the
what I'm
hot.
saying is you're saying it
Oh
sat where it normally
no,
sat.
even lower. That's when like because I had just turned on my car for the day, and that was the first time I was using it, so it was like just getting warmed up,
Yeah.
and then it went from like the 1/4 mark to almost hitting the hot, and I was like, ooh. So I instantly, because I was also like, I was running just in time to have enough time to make it there, so like I didn't have any leeway. I had like maybe 10 minutes of wiggle room to be.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, that was a giant hand of.
So did you like this is gonna sound dumb for the podcast, but to get a clearer context, did you check your fluids and see
Oh
like
yeah, I was
did you have
chilling.
coolant and
Everything.
everything?
My car, like, there's nothing that's
So it really
showing.
was just like you're not going.
Yeah,
You're not
literally. And
supposed
I
to be
don't
there.
know. Well, and maybe it's just my car. What a coincidence. My car just decides to stop
No.
working.
We've
Oh,
talked about this.
yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
coincidences.
yeah, I know, but some people could chalk it up to that. But like, yeah,
Yeah, some people.
my car
Like
was
most.
running running perfectly fine the past week or whatever. And then ever since I was trying to force myself to take these far distance jobs, my car has just stopped wanting to be a car.
Do you think it was God saying like you're being a little greedy? You should
Now,
stop.
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm now looking back on it because I was actually um when I was once I'd already had my job at the Y as a personal trainer,
Mhm.
like I had already started off with 3 clients, which is good to start off. It's not like a crazy amount of clients, but to start off to already have three
Yeah.
was really good. And I could tell I was just wanting more and more and more so I could make more money. And I realized that kind of was when he honestly did. I was sitting waiting for my one of my clients to get there, and that's when I was thinking about. I was like, how do I get more clients? How do I get more money practically out of these people?
So you
And
get more money based on clients that you spend
yeah,
time with.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
And I
I'm
was
just trying
like,
to
oh
clear
yeah,
things
you're
up for
good,
the
you're
yeah.
good. Keep asking questions if you get or if you feel like they need to clear it up. But what was I gonna say? Oh
You're
yeah,
just trying to get more clients.
yeah. I was sitting there just brainstorming. How do I get more? How do I get more? Because of the money thing, not because I wanted to train more people. And that's when like I know a lot of people are like, how do you know God was talking to you? But when I was literally all that was on my head was how do I get more clients slash money so I could pay for things like rent. Um, a different voice than what was very a greedy voice came into my head and was like, you're not getting clients because you're at it for the wrong reasons. And that's when that's something where if I'm in the mindset of I need more and more and more, and a different, completely sounding voice in my head was like, hey, you're not getting them because you're too greedy. I was like, that wasn't me. And that's why I'm confident it was him, and him showing me that it's not, I shouldn't be focused on getting more clients so I can make more money, but getting more clients so I can help more people reach a healthier
Yeah.
body. And oh, wait, what was this? That kind of I feel like that was the same thing with like why didn't let me get to that interview, because that dude tried to keep calling me back to get back, like to schedule another one. And I just stopped answering it after the car thing. And I think it was the same thing where I was more focused on what pays me the most instead of how can I represent God through the career I'm at, which I'm super lucky. I'm at the Y because they're a Christian established organization that allows you
Correct.
to establish Christian principles, and that honestly makes me really happy.
So I have another question. Did you get more clients after you changed your perspective?
Um,
Because
I
you said you started with 3, or is it
I
the
started with two.
same?
My bad, I lied. I started with two, but then I got another one. That was Wayne.
So you're up to 3.
Yeah, but and so
So you got one, but do you feel like you're keeping a closer connection to them
yeah, oh
and like
yeah,
personally
and
getting to know them?
yes, and yeah, 100%. And
Okay.
I now I care more about their
Who they are
goals,
and
yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, exactly who they are, and getting them to, because they're paying all this money. I don't want to just have the mindset of I'm getting money so I can just lollygag for this hour that they're with me. It's how can I push them as much as I can without obviously overdoing it, because they're not in their prime anymore. But
Well, because the other thing we were talking about this before the podcast, you said that you might be losing Wayne,
mhm,
and it's not because of how much you charge
yeah,
or how much you're getting paid. It's actually because of how much the establishment
yeah,
charges.
and so when that happened,
That's
when
another thing.
he told me that, like it was like a week ago when he told me that, um I instantly started, the enemy really got in my head, and he instantly was like, wait, is this not the job that, or is this not the career path God wants me in?
Yeah.
And just instantly fear because of something that's outside of my control. And so as soon as I got home, I prayed for the next day or so, that just because I had my next client coming up, who she was also on her last session before she'd either have to just not do it anymore or pay for more sessions. And I was like, I just honestly, to put it simply, I put it up to God's choice, and I was like, if you want me to keep doing this, uh, allow her to obviously redeem it if it's okay, and if not, just I will be okay with her either switching to a different client or different trainer, or just not paying for it anymore. And that was what took some patience, because I had to wait for days, because it was Friday when I trained Wayne, and then I had to wait till Monday until she had her last session. And so that was just kind of waiting for that kind of an answer from him. So
Yeah.
it took a little bit of patience, but I'm glad that I didn't like give it up to him, but then also start job searching type of a deal. I let him take control fully, and well, she redeemed it, so she liked me.
So has that been like your biggest test of patience recently? Or have you had more that you would consider more significant?
Honestly, my most significant is I've been someone like how you've talked to me about it, like how once you're out of a relationship, you just like your brain realizes, and like how I told you, I think I
I think we
said it.
both said we were
Yeah.
kind of the same.
Yeah, like how whenever I'm out of a relationship, the second I'm out, my brain is just like, "Oh, you're single. You can look for your next person." And I think with me and Jersey breaking up, I think that was my I definitely got lost for a minute, not so much for seeking another person, but just lost in general from my faith and who I
Yeah.
was. But ever since I've kind of rekindled my spark and my fire for God, I think that, because it's been I don't know, since it was around November-ish.
I was supposed to say October, November.
Yeah, when I kind of had to, like, since I've been locked back in, it's been definitely that's the biggest thing is because I always want to I want to be in a relationship and I want to
As any
start
man does.
yeah and I well yeah and I want to start my life with somebody, but I also know if I force it, it's gonna be in person that God does not want me with, and that risk. I mean, even if I get married to this person, if it's not the person God sent to my life and it was me trying to take control, it's. I mean, I would not be surprised if it ends in a divorce or just it's a bad relationship in general. And
Well,
so,
because so what I've been hearing a lot on like my social medias is like even if you force this thing to happen, God's plan's still gonna carry out.
oh yeah,
Just I keep getting that repeatedly. So it's like I'm just kind of taking a step back
that's good. It is,
because like if you keep hearing that, it's for a reason.
yeah, 100%.
But
It is hard though. I think that is my biggest test of patience as
yeah,
far as right now is just because I mean even now the only time I ever see the female species is when I'm at the gym, and now that I work at the gym,
that's
that's
because you're a gremlin in this garage.
yeah I know it's well even then yeah I just don't care like even yeah that's really the only time I see females is when I'm at the gym working out, and it's kind of it's actually funny. So like if you look at the New Testament, like all of Christ's disciples, they all the positions he puts them in are things they struggle with. And so with like Judas especially, he had a really big problem with money, and like he was really tied into money. And that's why he put him in charge of the finances aspect so he could either overcome it or just continue to fall deeper into it.
Yeah.
And so it's not in this journal, but it's in my other one, how I was talking about he's putting me, when I got the job, I was like, he's putting me into a situation where it's going to test if I can control myself and not only not lust over anyone when I see since I'm working there constantly more interactions with females, but if I can not try to take control of my life and let him put the person instead of me trying to force a person into my life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, actually, while we're on the topic of that, I want you to share what you've been doing at the gym to kind of like
Oh, yeah.
captivate that what you just said and how you're letting it just kind of happen.
Um, so I know it's somewhere in scripture in the actual Bible for the Christian Bible, but I don't know where it is, but I also don't know exactly where it is in the Quran, in the Muslim Bible or Muslim faith, but they say it a little more specifically than how it says in our Bible. But I've since like I said, the only time I actually see females are when I'm in the gym. Um, I've made it a since I'm so comfortable where I like how confident I am in the actual gym as far as walking wise. Like I could, not saying I could walk blindfolded and get around everywhere, but I just like how they say in the Quran to lower my gaze, and like I said, it's somewhere in here as well. I just don't know what it is. Um, I look at the ground or I look at the ceiling every time I step into the gym, just because, like I said, I know where I'm going enough to where I'm not gonna run into a wall or a machine, and so that also helps me to limit my not only me from like even if I don't do it intentionally from looking at a girl and them being uncomfortable because making people in general uncomfortable makes me really uncomfortable. And so just doing that to where if the less I acknowledge that there is someone of the opposite sex where I could try to make something out of it, I just completely limit my self from allowing that to happen by, like I said, looking at the ground, even while I'm walking in between stations or while I'm doing it, or looking at the ceiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for making me bring that up. But it's yeah,
You're welcome. I thought it was something pretty significant. I thought it was good. It's not the same as like me detoxing from Snapchat,
mhm.
even though I mean Snapchat definitely gets a lot of people into trouble.
Oh yeah,
And so me taking that detox isn't the same thing, but like I consider it kind of the
it's yeah
same for me.
they said the same principles,
Yeah. So
limiting yourself from that
it's
type of
limiting
access.
myself from being able to be pushed into temptation,
Yeah,
is what I would say.
yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Temptation still happens.
Oh yeah,
Still gets me. I still sin.
we all do.
And I will continue to sin. But the more I can limit that, which is why I like how I've been, where I'm getting up early and I'm busting my hind end through the entire day.
Keep
Because
your.
when I get home, I'm ready to go to bed. So it eliminates that.
I like it. You're
If you
keeping.
keep yourself busy, you have less of a chance of being tempted to do things.
That is true. That's why I mean I'm not a busy person, but I just keep myself because I know.
You keep yourself busy in the Word, though.
Yeah, I keep myself just super focused, and that's why like when people think I pray a lot, I mean I guess it's technically. Well, no, people don't think I pray a lot, but I just sit there and people might think I'm crazy, but I just sit there and talk to God like how I would if Brady
Like
was
a
in the room.
friend.
Yeah, I talk a lot. Not to people, and that's the thing. I'm usually a person of few words unless I'm comfortable with you, but I just talk a lot to God just about any and everything, and I think that helps me cuz like when I'm not to say if I'm doing something where it's sinful, but even when like I remember the eclipse. I didn't pick up my Bible. I kind of woke up. I did. I read a devotional in the morning, but the whole day I was just playing Siege, and that's obviously not a sin to play video games, and especially that wasn't something where it's a sin. I don't believe.
But it's unproductive.
It was just not even just unproductive. I wasn't talking to God. Like I literally was
Oh,
just
yeah.
keeping myself so busy with anything that was not related to Him. I I got done like watching the clips and I went back to play some more and I was like, I just feel empty. And it wasn't because I hadn't gone to the gym. It wasn't that because that doesn't satisfy me at all. It was just because, and it wasn't just because I didn't complete the checklist of reading my word. It was just because God was not on my mind at all. And then I just felt, ugh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, a lot of you would not think this, but Trey is actually like not socially awkward, but he's socially distant with other people.
yeah.
So
What, what's it called? What are they called? Intro? Vert?
introverts.
Yeah. I don't know why, because I used to.
I
Uh,
felt like well, also when you were more into sin, you were way more extroverted
oh, yeah. Yeah, that honestly probably is what it is. I
because now that you're seeing like how other people are,
mm,
it's making you like
push away.
not that you don't love them.
Yeah.
You just
I hate them. I want to
you're
kill
not
them.
on the
I'll
you're
kill
not
them
on the
all.
same level and like with certain people like Jesus had his close group, he tried to bring them up with him.
Mm,
I feel like you're kind of the same way.
yeah.
Like you kind of keep close. So,
I just,
is that someone leaving?
the neighbors. But yeah, I just hit Gwitties all day.
Trey
Ooh.
do be hitting Gwitties.
Hmm. I got two other scriptures. One is a
I've got
psalm,
some scriptures
and
too.
one's a Colossians something. Which one
Col-
do you want?
Colossians or whatever it is.
Which one do you want? The psalm or the
Let
Colossians?
me see what mine are before I tell you which one I want to make sure they're not the same.
Hope you guys are enjoying so far.
Oh,
Um,
facts.
uh,
We've got I don't feel like we've gotten very off at all.
no. The beginning we were a little bit, but that was also because we hadn't even really
Yeah.
started anything. But yeah, patience is hard. Um, just basically to quickly summarize why it's hard and why I even threw that in the title was because, like we said at the beginning, with us getting instant gratification from our smartphones, from whether it's a Google search or a text message or um, social media, just post or any of that, you get all these quick answers, quick satisfactions that when you are now put in front of the God of everything who does not run on your timeline, he runs on his own. It's honestly it kind of humbles you to realize that everything can't be on your time frame. And that I think is what's the hardest and why honestly some people push away from uh the faith is because when they go and pray to God, one, usually most of these people who don't feel like they're getting an answer is because they've never picked up the Bible. And when you don't know God's character, you kind of don't know how he answers you when you pray. And then also, when they pray, they're kind of, they sit there and they'll pray for 30 seconds and expect him to answer in less than 5 seconds in an
Yeah.
audible voice. And so and that's not. I mean, he could if he needs to and if he wants to, but that it doesn't take any sort of faith when you're getting a quick, immediate gratification instead of having to have faith and trust and patience for when he, especially when you're asking for something or need something to happen. I think
Yeah.
that's when it's kind of chokes up people to push them away.
So I actually have 4 verses.
Oh my goodness.
2 of them are from John, one's from Timothy, and two are from Romans, one's from Timothy, and one's from John.
Let me hear Timothy.
Timothy. But this is why I was shown mercy, so that Christ Jesus could show his endless patience to me first of all, so I'm an example for those who are going to believe in him for eternal life.
How do you think Christ shows his patience for us?
Oh, I mean, first off, he took all of our sins, which I know was not a great thing for him at all. So to be able to know that that's going to happen and still want to better us is him being patient with us and seeing that we're nowhere near like how perfect he was. So he has to be patient with us and show like this is how you should act, but I know you're gonna sin anyways.
Mhm.
Um, I think that's the biggest thing.
I'd say it was. I, you're gonna want to kill me, but I personally, from reading or from what your response was, like with him going in, because it wasn't. I mean, obviously he. I personally think he took joy. Not like he didn't obviously like the feeling of being tortured and then dying,
No, I think he
but
took joy in like doing that for us, but I would say
it
he
was
had
an
to be patient with us
yeah.
through the time that he was here with us.
Oh yeah. I see. Like at least from
And
that.
then especially when he came back.
Oh yeah, for 100%. From that scripture, I see when you were speaking it, I see it as a parent with a toddler that's like
Yeah.
um ooh, now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm seeing now like a parent trying to feed a toddler any type of food that is like when the kid smacks it away and it starts having a rage fit, but you had to
He has
be
a rager.
yeah, you have to be calm and patient with the kid, understanding that they do not understand how important it is to eat, whether it's
Yeah.
vegetables or it's just normal food, and they just don't want to. And that's kind of how I see us, is that kid that's um,
In
God.
denial.
God is feeding us holiness. He's feeding us what it like a good life, and we're just smacking it away. And he just has to kind of realize that we're brats,
We're
bratties.
greedy.
Yeah. We're,
Simple.
oh, very, very much so. Kind of like
He's over here. Here comes the airplane.
yeah,
Whack.
yeah, we're just
Whack.
no, I don't want it. No, I don't want it.
Not now.
And
Later.
that's how
Story of my life.
yeah. And and now that we're saying that, it kind of brings up when Moses was taking the Israelites to the promised land, how they just every time something didn't like he had to be very patient. So did God.
Hmm.
And just because he literally freed them, and every 30 seconds they're, oh, I'm hungry, I wish we were back in slavery so they could feed us. Oh, I'm tired of walking to this promised land, I wish we were back in slavery because then we wouldn't have to
But they had
walk.
every sign to not
Yeah,
complain.
and they were just wham, and then so not only did it take Moses a lot of patience to just keep dealing with them. But I mean, for God to do all this great things for them and constantly provide for them, like it says He does
Hmm.
or did, but for them to just be so ungrateful, I feel like that took a lot of patience too. And that's what popped up when I was thinking of the illustration of the baby smacking away the food.
Yeah. Do you want me to read another one so we're
Yeah,
both at 3?
yeah. Give
You
me a
want Romans or
John.
John?
Give me a John. One of them.
I
Yeah.
have 2 Romans and 1 John.
Oh, then give me a Roman. I don't care which one.
All right.
The top one.
That's crazy because I did the top one. It was right next to Timothy. All right. So it says Romans 15:1. We who are powerful need to be patient with the weaknesses of those who do not have power and not please ourselves.
What do you think he means by power?
Believing in a God and having no doubt in our mind that He is the one who came and freed us from everything.
I would. Well, I actually it took me a while to kind of even
I
remember
would
what
say
you just
that's
said.
our power, and the weakness is like those who either firmly don't believe or those that are just like on the fence, because even when you're on the fence you're still believing
Oh yeah.
in the opposite.
Ooh. Now that I have two now
And
because
then
of your
not please
explanation.
ourselves, I would say, is like be patient and not gaining instant gratification.
Mm. Yeah. Now I have two different ways I interpret it because of your answer. The first one was before you'd answered it, and the power I was thinking of was the power of prayer, and because people who don't believe in God, um,
That's true.
they
Yeah.
have no real power and authority over anything. But since we have the power of Christ with us, and we truly believe that, that gives us power over people who don't, and we shouldn't flaunt that. Is the what the ending part meant. But then after you explained it, the second interpretation I got from it was our power of hope. And
That's a good one too.
be,
There's a lot of interpretations for
yeah,
this.
because like we have hope that no matter what bad things happen, there's a reason. We have hope that the most scariest thing I think anyone faces is death. We have hope that the God we
We have
serve,
eternal life.
yeah, defeated death. And so those are the two powers I was coming up with when, yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I like that.
I like the power of prayer.
The power of Christ compels you.
Power of Christ compels you.
Oh,
All right, so you have how many? Two more?
two. I want to read you. I want you to. So I'm going to read whichever one you decide, and I'm going to have you, just like how I did, I'm going to want you to interpret it before I give you my answer on what I think of it, or I
Okay.
think it means. You got to pick though, Psalm or Colossians. Or I don't know.
Psalm.
I don't know how to say that word. Uh,
Colossians, I thought.
Colossians.
I don't know. I can't see the spelling because it's on your paper, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's LED lights.
No, there's no
It's
LEDs.
glow in the dark.
There's no LEDs. You
Oh,
can't.
you're reading it out of
Yeah,
here.
you can't read it, cuh.
Well, I wasn't trying to.
You
I thought you were
can't
pulling
read
up
it.
Colossians
You
or
can't.
whatever it is.
Wait, are we supposed to? Did you say Psalms? You
Yeah,
said Psalms.
I
Okay.
said Psalms. We were just trying to figure out how you say the other one.
Um, 7-1. Okay. It says. Oh, this one isn't really about patience, but we're gonna read it anyways.
We're gonna raid.
Yeah, because there was when I was reading, I went through these before you got here, and I was trying to figure out why I put that one as one to read, but oh well, it was there for a reason. Uh, do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither; like green plants, they will soon die away. What do you get from that, good sir?
Wait, can I read it? Like to myself?
No,
Where's it at?
no, no,
Is it this highlight?
no. It is that the
This?
first, the first one.
Well, I think if you put it with what's right below it.
No, 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 you can't.
No. For context.
Oh,
Because what it says below it, it would tie in better.
okay.
So, if you read it, do not fret because of those who are evil, or be envious of those who do wrong, for like the grass they will soon wither, like green plants they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart.
So what do you get from that, bro?
What I get from that is have have the patience in being yourself and trusting in the Lord rather than doing what everyone else is doing, like our age, and partying and drinking underage and going out every night, because they will soon wither and die out. Unlike the eternal, like the eternal flames that we have inside of us for God, and will prosper and come out where what most people say is the grass is greener on the other side.
I actually do like that. I like that a lot.
I think you have to put in that bottom one though for it to fully make sense as to why you chose that.
I got you. Oh, that is cool how much they glow.
Yeah, it is really cool. I like seeing the Sharpie
Um,
or the highlighter Sharpie.
ooh,
So what
kind of.
did you get from that?
It's somewhat similar to how you interpret it. I'd just say that like you said, how you see people, um, not just like evil people who are out doing actual horrendous things, and you see them
Yeah,
still prospering, or you see rich people, um, doing it out of scandalous ways, or you see them just harboring their money. Um, but also with people who are out having worldly fun and just giving in to the desires of their flesh and seeing how much fun they're having versus when our type of fun is being obedient and disciplined to God, which
and worshiping.
yeah, it's not fun where especially if the newer you are and the younger you are, it's not fun that is the cool thing to do or the common thing to do. Um, but like even with how like I'm comfortable saying my roommates aren't people, they're people who live for the world rather than
Mhm.
for God, and seeing them constantly going, even if it's just in our house, like having their type of fun, it it is weird how I normally like before finding God I would have um I would
Joined it.
I would have joined in, not even so much as like acting how they were, but just being around them. But like my now, not to say it like I it bug it, or I hate them because I do it, but it does sometimes bug me a little bit, and so my patience is and me being disciplined, I come in here and I just kind of, not to say I lock myself away, but like I go and have my own type of fun with God in here without
Yep.
needing to give into worldly fun. And so that's kind of how I get it. And just in the sense, like you said, they're having their fun now, but
The real fun will be in eternal
yeah,
life.
I'm being patient and having in their peace and whatever they get, their satisfactions. I have to be patient to know that theirs is now versus later. They're not gonna have that same thing versus
Well,
my
you know what the other thing is?
yeah,
That's instant and it lasts for a few hours, but let's say you're drinking the next morning, it
it's gone.
sucks.
Temporary fun. Yeah,
Temporary fun every night.
versus eternal fun with
You
Jesus.
know how it makes it less fun? Because they're spending money to do that.
And I mean, they're just. I mean,
But that's with all people that go out and party.
yeah,
I mean, you're using your money to get
s-
partial fun
to
while
satisfy your
we're over here
temporary
talking
needs.
about God and playing video games a
Excuse
little
me.
bit and having fun.
I just.
I actually enjoy talking to Trey a lot, honestly. Like even outside of this podcast,
No.
even though he doesn't respond half the time, because he doesn't like to
Um,
call people, and most of the time I'm driving, so I have to call.
my dad's wife, she called me 'cause I have two siblings or three siblings on that side that they live in Anderson, and since I had my phone before it broke all the way, I don't have like any numbers saved besides like a very few
Yeah,
since I the contacts didn't get transferred over.
that's why I call you on Snapchat.
Yeah, well, luckily, no, I have your phone number, but like hers, I wouldn't have. And so she called me, and she was like, I wouldn't have answered it because once again, I don't even like if my mom calls me, I'm hesitant to even answer it.
He lets it ring and then
I do
texts her and goes,
if I'm
"Yeah, what did you need?"
if I'm on my phone and I can't use it anymore because she calls me, I'll answer. If someone else does that, I probably don't
If I
answer.
do that, he
I'm not gonna
declines.
answer. I'm just gonna watch it ring. And that's the thing. It's not because I don't want to talk. I just don't like talking on the phone. I don't know why.
Which I don't. Yeah, I don't know why either.
It's weird. But also, it's kind of like the talking to people you haven't like if you're friends with someone but you haven't really seen them in a while and you have to do that first like small talk interaction stuff, or like you're not super close to them type of a friendship,
I don't
because
know.
you have to do that like awkward small talk
Is
and
that why you don't answer my phone?
yeah,
Answer my
I
calls?
don't want to talk to you.
I
No,
don't
but
want to do
that's
small talk. I'm trying to talk
well,
business.
that's how
I
it
stand on business.
that's how it feels with anyone, even my mom. So that's why I'm like, it's just I can't get
Well,
over
that's
it.
because you don't live at home. Your mom doesn't see you every night.
Well, tomato, tomato. I'll do it if one of them
I
calls
live
me
at home and
too.
my mom still barely sees me at night. So
Well, yeah, that's because you're
we
freaking
still do
busy.
small talk every now and again.
That's because you're busy as. Crap. I was about to say balls.
I get busy and then I go home and eat dinner. That's
Hey,
about it. Or at this point, I just live on leftovers.
hey, leftovers are better than spending money. I'm
That is
broke.
true.
I'm freaking poor. No.
Do you
Oh,
need me to bring you some food?
I'll always accept free food. I don't like taking money from people, but free food is gas.
But you're
Um,
taking money from people like when I took you to Qdoba.
exactly. That's why I didn't want to do it. You forced me. You
I
literally
did force you. I
forced
jumped in
me.
your car and said Qdoba now.
You forced me against my will. Ooh. All right, give me your. You have two more.
I have another Romans
And a
and
John.
then
Give
no,
me
I have both.
John.
Wait,
You already did Romans, one of them.
I have one Roman and one John.
Give me John.
John. All right, I got John 13:7.
In the
Jesus
gospel? Okay.
replied, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand."
Oh, that's simple. That's
It's
patience.
simple, but it's a bar.
It is. It is a
It's
very.
literally patience.
Yeah, I think that's honestly the most. It doesn't use the word patience, but that's the most.
Most realistic form of patience.
Yeah, like you don't. And that happens with anything. Watching people have fun, like the temporary fun, and you have to be patient with what he promises later, or just with praying, or with any aspect of life. You don't understand. We live in time, and so we can't see the future. We can see the present and the past. And so with God being outside of time, it is something where it's like you can't understand what he's doing, and so you have to be patient and trustworthy and know that whatever he's got cooking up, even if it doesn't feel like he's there or he's by your side or he's cooking something up, you gotta trust he is.
Yeah.
You don't
Even when
understand
you're
it.
at your lowest, you just
Exactly.
gotta put trust.
And even if you feel confused, like I'm at the point now where even when I'm in my waiting periods, like even with this relationship thing, like I
Yeah.
know, even though I'm like I don't know when I'm gonna have my wife or when I'm gonna start my family or whatever, I know that it's not where I'm starting to freak out or worrying or anything. I don't understand, but in the sense of how I could do it, but I understand that he will do it when he needs to, type
So,
of a deal.
so I have a question.
No.
So this goes with patience. So you're not worried about it now, but you're also really young. Do you think if you got to like late 20s and you like still didn't
Have somebody.
have somebody, do you think like because men become infertile like early 30s, mid
What?
30s,
No,
yeah,
we can have
like
kids late,
or
like
not
60s.
infertile, but like there can be complications.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Um,
Do you think you would start to stress a bit more and try to take it into your own hands?
I think
I know it's hard to think into the future like that, but
it's kind of like asking someone if they were in Abraham's shoes, would they offer Isaac on the thing? Because
true.
it's where it's like you don't know. I obviously would say yes, I would wait and I would trust him. And the same thing with yes, I would put my son out on that altar to sacrifice him. But until I'm there, I really wouldn't know how I'd respond. But at that point, I think
Do you think you would be a bit anxious and like,
honestly, no. Just because I know there's a like Paul talks about it, and so does Christ somewhere in the Gospels. I think it's in Matthew somewhere where he said the word. And I had to look it up what it meant. But there's people of the faith that they aren't, they don't have wives or they don't have husbands, and so they
celibate?
it not well yeah that just well, but that just means you don't have sex. Um, in
No.
the sense of
Yeah.
they they don't care, they don't focus on getting a partner or having one or maintaining one because they want to give their literally their all to God. And it's a type of person, I don't know what they're called. And basically they just it was talking more so when Christ was talking about it in Matthew, more so about he was comparing you to the people who can't, to to put it simply, God was talking about it if you look up the word used about people who, as about men who can't get erect. And so he's like, basically, you'd be like those people where you obviously aren't having children and you're not having a wife. And so you just are focused on serving me. And so at that point, I would honestly, I wish I knew the word. It kind of bugs me that I don't know what those type of people are called.
Do you want to look it up?
Yeah, dang near, because now it is bugging me. But
Because I don't know what you're going for, but I can give you my Safari so you can try to look for it.
it's
Why did it just take me to a locked browser? I did not want that.
um, but basically these people, um, yeah, at that point I would become like them who just don't care about finding a partner. Like I
Yeah.
really would not care anymore, and I'd really dive into the deep end of. Honestly, that's probably when I would start doing a lot of missionaries and just traveling the world to
Because it's not like
serving.
I'm saying you're never guaranteed a wife. It's
Mhm.
like at that point you're getting older.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
wonder if like you
uh,
would feel that
ooh,
stress.
I mean, yeah, I would either respond by just starting to really travel the world and do missionaries where you can't really have a partner to do that unless they're going with you.
Yep.
I kind of zoned out looking at the keyboard. Either that or
Looking
if
at the keyboard.
if God wanted me to stay in Indiana, not Indiana, but United States, if I really just was really fiending for a kid, I really want to adopt a kid. I've thought
Yeah, I
about that
want to
since I
adopt a
was
kid.
in middle school because there's so many kids. We're already overpopulated as people,
Hmm.
and there's enough kids in orphanages and foster care where they're just sitting there and their minds are dwindling because they're just not they feel like they're not cared for or wanted.
Yeah, that's
So I'd pick one of those bad boys.
when when I worried about money more, I used to say like, oh, I want to have two biological and one adopted, or two adopted and one biological. But now, because I'm more like, I would say, focused on God providing, like I want to be able, like I know if He wants me to adopt more kids, that He'll provide the money to be able to do so and give them a good life. So I definitely see adoption in my future.
Literally just voice. Well, that didn't work. That did not work at all. Oh my
Just
god.
struggling.
No,
Dude, what are you doing?
I'm trying to voice because I don't want to type it. It's not freaking. Oh. What does Jesus say in Matthew about the people who don't get married? What? Why did the voice say anything? Who don't get married so they can focus on God.
I'm curious to see what this is now.
Eunuchs? That might be what it is. I think that is what it is.
Canucks.
Eunuchs.
Struggling.
Yeah, it was in Matthew.
It wasn't Matthew?
Matthew 19:12. Let me look that up.
1912.
Because now I'm too deep in the deep end.
Yeah, now we gotta figure it out. We've already spent time on it. What if I get there quicker with my Bible app?
I forget what it is. What was it? Verse freaking something.
Probably like in the 20s.
Not like how it's just silent right now. I can't remember what verse it said.
Is it this?
Oh, what chapter? Oh, Matthew 19. I was on freaking 12. Yeah.
You said 1912.
Yeah, I know. And then I went to chapter freaking
So
12.
is it that right there then?
I believe so.
I believe so, my brother. Hello, brother.
All right. We're there. Uh, Oh, okay. So basically, the context is when they're asking about the marriage thing and then like divorce and stuff.
Hmm.
And so the disciples are like, isn't it better just to not marry then in that situation? Because I think it was talking about sexual immorality and then also pulling them away from God. And he goes, not everyone can accept this word. This is Christ talking. Not everyone can accept this word, but only those to whom have been given. For there are eunuchs who were born that way, and there are eunuchs who have been made eunuchs by others, and there are those who choose to live like eunuchs for the sake of the kingdom of heaven. So I'm mostly referencing the last part where it says, and there are those who choose to live like eunuchs. And
Yeah.
those are people who, eunuchs at the time, were people, like I said, who couldn't get erect, so they had no purpose of having a wife. And so they spent that time just serving God. And so at that point, if I was 20, late 20s, early 30s, where I was like, I felt confident God was saying, you're not someone who's going to have a partner, that's what I would become, a person.
Probably adoption or
Even,
become a mission.
yeah, and if he was like, no, I don't want you adopting someone, so you could focus on me instead, yeah, then I'd just live like a eunuch would.
Yeah.
And yeah, that really went off. That was a long tangent just for that part, to define that.
I
But,
mean, it wasn't that bad, but I feel like some people would be educated by that.
but yeah,
Um, what is your other
oh,
scripture?
my last, but certainly
Your
not
last
least, Colossians. Yeah, take a gander at that title. Tell me that's not Colossians.
Colossians.
I
That's
don't,
what I've been saying. You've been saying Colossians.
I don't know. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know anymore.
Okay, Colossians, third, chapter 3, verses 12 through 13. They also, like I wrote down here, they kind of go with my excuse me, the next tattoo I'm gonna get from myself, which is Proverbs 15-1. But it says therefore, and I don't think this is really about, oh, I guess it is a little bit about patience. It says therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And all of these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. That was one, I went over one extra verse, but I think that verse 14 helps because it is about love. All those things, the compassion, kindness, and humility, gentleness, and patience, takes love to really uphold all those. But how do you feel about that? What do you get from that bad boy? Bah.
Bruh. No, I think it's just what we've been talking about the whole night. Like he has shown us how we should live, and because we're so humanized in our thoughts, like to do that for other people, we have to have so much patience.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So, yeah, I think it's just back to what we've been saying all night. Like, granted, patience is like it's a topic that you can just keep repeating with different connotations and everything else, but
I agree. I like it
I
though.
think it's important to.
I wish I had my highlighter. I would have
Oh
highlighted
my
that bad
gosh,
boy.
keep reiterating. Sorry, I'm really tired. Like I said, early mornings, late nights.
Yeah, this is. I don't know what time it is. Let me check.
It's only 10:30.
Oh, that was later. Did
Yeah, I thought it
Mr.
was like
Wayne ever
11:30.
text you?
Did who?
Mr. Wayne? That
Oh,
freaking
I have no idea.
bum. He's like, no, that's gonna be bad. Cause I don't know when.
Oh, that's who it was. He said, "How about 1 p.m.?"
Oh, just say yeah. That's
I've been
okay.
getting I've been getting text from a sergeant.
That was scaring me. Cause I was like, there's no way he just decided not to answer on his last training day too.
Yeah, no. No, Mr. Wayne responded. What do you want me to say?
Just say yeah, that works perfect.
That works. I'll see you there.
Oh, that's funny. I was so worried. I was like, my boy Wayne, he's gonna freaking. Oh,
Well, so this sergeant,
oh, those people will be texting me too, and I'm just
he texted me. Well, 'cause I met with him
you messed up, buddy.
about possibly doing Marines.
Messed up. They're never gonna let you go.
No, they'll let me go. But it was a different sergeant from the same number. And he texted me again, and he was like, "I want to hop on a phone call." And I thought he was.
That was
I
him.
told him I would call him in between driving here in school. Totally spaced it. He was jamming to music. And then I thought he said, "How about 1 p.m.?" And I was like, "Tomorrow, bro." It was Wayne.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
It was
makes
Wayne.
sense.
But yeah,
I really like that verse. I wish I had my highlighter. I think it's at my mom's house though.
here I got a pencil if you want to underline it so you remember.
I have a freaking. I stay strapped, baby. Come on. See my pencil bag full of pencils.
Pencil bag from high school.
That one
I
count.
thought that was the highlighter. I was like, "You
I know.
liar."
I saw it and I thought it was my highlighter too.
Do you not have one in the house?
No, I brought it with me to my mom's, and then I also took one of hers as well. It was an orange one. I kind of like it too. Um,
What do you get out of that verse?
um, I think compassion, like holding compassion, kindness, and being humility is less about taking patience, but having compassion towards people, especially when they don't, you feel like they don't deserve it. Constantly being kind to those people and being gentle with the way you speak to them, it
Yeah.
does take a extreme level of patience. And what, like it says in verse 14, you have to bind that with actual love for these people, or that patience, even if you feel like you are the most patient person, if you don't have love for even your enemies, it's going to be really hard to uphold um, all those values that Christ wants us to do
Yeah.
with them if we don't tie them in with love and we don't look at them with love. Instead, we're just looking at it as, oh, we have a checklist we have to do. Like, because if I love prior to giving my life to him when I could not confidently say I love everyone, versus now I'll say that and I'll try to act my best. Because I do love everyone and I'll try to show that through my words and through my actions. But prior, it would have been a lot harder for me to show someone I did not care for, especially if they were to do stuff that constantly aggravated or triggered or whatever, not a positive mood
Yeah.
from them. It would have been hard to, because I would have said I was a decently patient person with people, but to be consistently compassionate, kind, and gentle with my words, it being super
Definitely did
patient.
not happen.
Yeah, it would not have happened if I without the love tying it all together, like he does say. It's crazy how that works.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna share mine, and then I think we might wrap up.
Wrap it up.
Mine's Romans 12:12. Says, "Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, and be constant in prayer."
Wait. Repeat that.
Rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, and be constant in prayer.
Oh yeah. Um, I think it's kind of like a not a guideline and a rule book of how to do it, but um, be what was the first one?
Rejoice in hope,
Rejoice in hope. Okay, so yeah, like I said earlier, about the we have hope.
the power of hope.
Yeah, the power of hope. Oh crap, my Lamborghini.
He just threw his matchbox.
Um, the power of hope just keeps us optimistic even when people say we shouldn't, or the world makes it seem like we shouldn't be happy about an outcome that isn't favorable to us. Um, but what was the patience one? The second part?
Uh,
Be patient in
be patient in
tribulation.
tribulation.
I think if you cannot, I think hope is what helps you be patient during those tribulations. Because if you don't have any hope, if you didn't know that God was saying not only was He going to be right by you when you're going through these things, but that there's something better on the other side, I think it would be a lot harder to hold that patience during when things are really not favorable in your outcome, and especially when things get really hard
Yeah.
on you, especially when you see other people that are don't you don't feel like deserve to have as good of a life or good of outcomes coming. It's hard to be patient with that if you don't have hope and if you don't have understanding for why things happen. Ow, I just pulled so many leg hairs out of my, yeah, that hurt.
Why are
um
you pulling like
Oh, I didn't mean to. My pencil was in my sock, and I went to pull it out, and it just somehow, I don't know what I did. It hurt, but it threw me off. But yeah, that threw off my whole statement. Yeah, but being patient during the tribulations, like I said with the last thing, you can be as think you're as the most patient person in the world, but instead of replacing it with love, or instead of it being love, replacing it with hope. If you don't have hope during these tribulations of what God is going to do for you, like that one verse you brought up, you don't understand what I'm doing now, but you will later. If
Yeah.
you don't if you don't have hope in that verse, honestly, that one kind of comes to mind a lot for me. Uh, that patience is going to wear out eventually. That yeah, plain and simply.
Yeah. No, I like what you said. I don't really have another perspective for that,
Oh my
which
gosh. We
is not often for this, but like you said, hope is the bottom line, and if you don't have hope in that patience part, and that like we don't understand now, but we will later because God always has a plan, then you're not failing the
mm,
first part of Christianity, but you're misunderstanding like one of the biggest parts.
I agree. That is a definitely yeah, like you said, a big part.
Like it's a very big baseline, and like the song "Build My Life" says, "I will build my trust upon your love." It's like you're missing the first part of His love.
A firm foundation in Christ.
Correct.
I don't know where that is. Somewhere.
Build my life.
No, not the song. It's
Oh,
somewhere in scripture where it's talking about you can build your foundation on rock, and when the
yeah.
storms come, it'll. Yeah, that's actually a really good thing. That's kind of now when you said that song, what pops up for how another way to think of that verse, what you had just said. Um, if your foundation is not on rock, if a tsunami comes, that bad boy is getting washed away, versus or is not getting washed away. But if it's put on sand, your foundation of say it's a house, that baby's gone. And so if you all you have is patience, it's almost like putting your foundation, your house on sand. And enough of that tribulation, enough of that wave crashing into that house is gone. Versus if it's planted in the concrete, and we replace concrete with hope for what's to come, then those tribulations, those waves can keep smacking your crib, but it's gonna stay firm.
Firm foundation.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna when you said it's like that song, I thought you were gonna say "Honey in the Rock," just because that was the last
That
song I
is
was
a good
listening to.
song, but that is not where I was
Yeah,
going.
it has nothing to do with it. Hey, but there's a rock,
There's a rock. No, that
cause
song
there's
is
honey.
fire though. I love when Spencer sings that song.
Honey is in that rock.
But
Do you
no,
think bees are attracted to that rock?
they might be.
There's a beehive inside rock.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to wrap up,
It's okay. I am sleepy as well, but I do, and I'm glad
but
that
I
we're able
did
to do
like this.
this. Yeah, and actually have a podcast about patience,
Yeah.
focused on it a lot
I
more.
want somebody to do a word count of how many times we said that this pod.
Patience, 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 patience,
Bishop,
patience.
bishop, bishop.
I don't think I could. I could while I'm editing this. I could
Don't
try
do
to.
that. Don't
It would.
don't torture yourself with
Yeah,
that.
that would be terrible.
This is at what?
An hour.
Hour 8 minutes.
Yeah, I would rather die than do that. I'm sorry. I'd rather
But
die.
you have to have hope and a firm foundation.
Yeah, firm foundation that I'd rather die. I'd have hope that I'd rather die. No, but yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
Brady, for making time. Well,
Yeah.
you've been making time. Thank you for forcing
Thank you
yourself.
for not falling asleep.
Yeah. No, dude, I don't know what happened because someone
It's
else,
happened like the past 2 weeks.
Carson, no, not weeks. Don't
Yes.
lie.
That's why you did one by
No.
yourself because you kept falling
Yeah.
asleep.
No, that actually made me mad because I was sitting there watching something. No, I know why it happened. Because I had back my freaking not my back,
You don't have patience for me. It's
but
okay.
no, my freaking tailbone on my right side was killing me, and we don't have any ibuprofen here, but Ty has some like PM Advil, so like it makes you tired. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was always like I took it when I had the flu because my body was just aching, and it didn't make me tired, but I took it and I was like, so I'm not gonna be tired. And I'm sitting here
Dude,
watching
Tylenol
anime.
PM knocks you out.
That's what I'm saying. I was sitting here watching anime, doing my thing, and I was like, it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna be up for the next few hours. Podcast gonna happen. And someone even what like someone King was here, and he said he kept walking in here trying to wake me up, and I just wouldn't wake up.
Dude, so
Ah,
we're still on pod, but I have a funny story about Tylenol PM now. So I felt horrible.
horrible.
And my mom was like, "Yeah, dude, we have some Tylenol. Go up there." I take Tylenol PM thinking it's Tylenol. Didn't realize there was a Tylenol PM.
What time was it in the day?
Not not day yet. I took it at night because I
Okay.
felt bad, so I took
Okay.
it at night. Woke up the next morning and we have like a party or something, and I feel sick still. And my mom is not home, so it's just my dad and I. We're supposed to be cleaning the whole house,
Okay.
getting ready for this party. Wake up, take some more Tylenol PM. Kid you not, 15 minutes later, fell asleep. My dad comes in. He goes, "Dude, what are you doing?" I
I'm
go, "Man, just give me 5 minutes.
please. I
Please,
beg
5 minutes."
you. I beg
Got
you.
5 minutes. I was fine for the rest of the day.
Hey,
5 minutes is all it took. I was like, that was the quickest power nap.
that
But
that's a dub.
that that time from like trying to help to going to bed, worst 15 minutes of my life, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, Tylenol PM hits so hard.
Makes sense. Hmm.
Sounds really nice tonight.
Ooh. I guess I don't have to. Yes, I do. I was gonna say I could just stay up late watching anime, but I can't do that because I gotta get up.
You gotta be up early.
Yeah, that makes me
Wait,
depressed.
why do you have to be up early?
Cause I have to get ready. Now I don't have to do him, which actually makes that not as
I was gonna
early.
say you have him at 1 p.m.
I'm hoping.
Good
Actually,
time.
I'm really hoping that they don't expect me to be at work tomorrow. Not him, but I don't think I should be working the front desk. This is really
Are you
off topic.
supposed to work front desk?
Well, I do that sometimes. That's what I was doing today from 1 to 5. But I've been getting trained Wednesdays and Thursdays at from 9 to 3. And so the past 2
So
weeks,
they want you to be front desk and personal trainer?
I had asked them to so I could get some extra hours. And because
Are you being greedy?
not so much greedy, but it's a way to actually um what is it called? What does the private or the personal trainer say or Esther say? You're able to because you're supposed to wear the Y member shirts, but I just wear a personal trainer shirt. Not only does it allow myself to show like the people coming in that hey, I'm a personal trainer,
Mm-hmm.
but I generally enjoy it because it's the slowest paced work. You don't do anything but stand up there, and I know it sounds really dumb, but I really enjoy it because I get to obviously all the other workers at the front desk are just they do it just for the paycheck. But and so whenever someone walks in, they might hit them with a hey
What's up,
every
gang?
once in a
What you
while.
gonna hit?
Like not even every once in a while they'll actually if they know the person they'll start a
Yeah.
conversation. But most of the time you either don't get a response like the people working the front desk won't say anything or they'll be like hey that's it like hey and then but
Trey's
I
over here like, hey, how you doing? God woke me up today.
it's funny. It's funny you say that because I'll be like, welcome in, all excited because I am excited that the person comes in, even if I don't, none of the people I know. But over time, I actually, okay, when I first was doing, it, I didn't know anyone. But yeah, so I'm just like, hey, welcome in to everybody. As long as I'm not like on the phone answering like a phone call from the front desk, I'm always greeting them like that. And then I I'd say 90 to 95% of the time I'll ask them how their day's going. And I'd say about 60% of the time they'll answer and then they'll ask me how I am and that's when I get to be like God woke
God
me
woke
up
me up.
today.
Yeah.
And I love it. So
That's a
sometimes
great.
you can tell people the unbelievers how they will answer. They're like, yep. And then you, and I'm like, that's what you get. I'm gonna talk about him even if you don't want me to.
Ha, I'm gonna say that every day now.
Yeah. And then there's some people that are believers and they're like, I like that. And that really just
Yeah.
being able to be and there's it happened today and it happens probably once every day where there's someone I'll say that to and they're like, man, that's just really great seeing a kid your age doing like talk being passionate about him.
Yeah.
And not so much that I feel good that someone's recognizing that, but somewhat I honestly like giving them hope that it's not just the older generation that truly cares about God
So would you say most of them are older generation?
that like are happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, yeah, but then you'll get some people around like the 20 to 30 age that they also enjoy it.
That's fair.
But I
I think
honestly
it's
like
less
it.
common in our closer
Oh yeah,
generations, so
I
that's why
agree.
I ask.
And I just yeah, it sounds stupid, but I really like doing that. And now that since I've been there, I've probably worked 6 or 7 shifts. But I mean, the same people come in during those times, and so now like I don't know them on a first name basis, but like I like that I can I'll start a conversation with almost everyone
Yeah.
as long as there's not. that person walking in, that person like all a group
Yeah.
of people. Not saying that they're together a group, but like multiple people are walking in at once. I can't start a conversation because then I'm neglecting other people. But if it's like one person, maybe two, I'm gonna be like, "What are you working hard today?" and stuff like. They'll just like get a conversation going, showing that I care about them, not just
Yeah.
caring about getting $9. Because that is, I feel like I could not work that job like as a front desk worker if I didn't care about getting to know the people because you're getting paid $9 an hour. You're $9 an hour
So
to sit there.
your pay flexes depending on what you
Yeah,
do.
if I'm a personal trainer, it's 15. But like, yeah, like I would not. I would stop after the first day I
That's
got trained if I
crazy.
didn't. Well, it's a nonprofit, so I'm surprised they even make that much. I'm surprised they don't give
I mean,
everyone
it's still
minimum.
above.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't get minimum wage, to be honest.
Well, minimum wage is 7.25,
Exactly. So for it to be a
but
nonprofit,
minimum wage, what we consider at this point, is like
eight.
12.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, like I said, for a nonprofit,
It's
I'm not
crazy.
complaining. But like, I just don't understand how you could be someone who works up at that front desk and that's all you do for hours and you don't
And
care
all
enough
you
to,
do is say, hey.
yeah, and like
That would
for
be the
nine
most
dollars, that is so
boring.
unmotivating. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when I say you don't do anything, you fold some towels once, maybe twice in that shift, which is like 30 or 40 towels that are like like the quick towels that you
Like the
rub off
ones that you put
machines.
over your shoulder.
Not even like you wipe machines off with those like hand
Yeah.
towels, like a washcloth size towel, and you excuse me, you
It
wash
takes like 5 minutes.
not even maybe two, maybe three. Do
Yeah.
that maybe twice a shift, and if you really want to, you don't even have to. You might go clean some windows. That takes maybe 5-10 minutes.
How often you cleaning those windows?
I Today was the first day I worked by
Do you
myself with
like
no
to
one.
lick windows?
I honestly hate cleaning any glass because I never, unless I feel like if you don't have a squeegee, it does not
There's no
change it.
point.
Yeah, it just you see marks and I have OCD to a little bit of a degree and
Hmm.
it's just so frustrating when they're like, "Hey, go clean the front door glass." And I just see that
You just
every
see the
time
circle pattern.
yes, and I'm just like, why am I doing this?
Try wax on, wax off.
It just doesn't work. It makes me frustrated.
You're telling me that Karate Kid lied to me?
Well, that's for a car. That's not for glass.
It is. It was for the windshield and the car and everything.
You don't wax the glass, you wax
I'm gonna
the
wax
metal.
you.
Not in UFC.
We will run one after this. I will get back-to-back wins. All right.
You hear
Well,
this, chat? You hear this, brother?
now we're.
You hear this, brother?
I'm going to win, brother.
No. But
All
yeah.
right. Now we're getting on a bit of a tangent,
Okay.
but
Yes.
um, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Sorry about the low energy.
That wasn't terrible though.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty low energy. I yawned through the whole podcast,
That's
but
alright.
I apologize for my low energy.
I don't apologize for nothing.
But his room is
Nothing.
dark except for the LED lights,
Yeah, that's true.
so it does not
Setting
help
the
my
mood.
sleepiness. It probably helps him go to bed though.
Down, 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 down.
But that is it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Patience Part 2. If you guys have any questions or if you're Raiden and want to call us out on
Debunk
anything and debunk
everything.
us, then leave it down below. And I'm going to talk to Trey after this. I want to, hopefully, for the next
Please
podcast, bring out
don't.
some big news.
I don't want to.
So, yeah, I think that'll be it. If you have any clips that you want us to post, let us know too. Send us timestamps. And that's it. Trey, you got anything else?
Fortnite season OG.
All right. See you guys. Appreciate you.